Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. This week, I am going to be featuring some projects using the Sweetest Cherries bundle. This is in the new annual catalog. So cute. There's so many great samples. And I'm going to show you a few ideas that I have. So if you follow me on Instagram, Stamped AF, that is where you'll see all of it, and I will try to share it to Facebook and YouTube and Pinterest and all the places. So let's get our craft on and I'll show you what I came up with. So Sour Patch Kids, Sour Cherry Blasters. Anytime we have any new product, especially when it's food, I try and find something that goes with that theme. So I found some Sour Cherry Blasters, thought that was perfect. I've got at least one more treat throughout the week for you that is like food related. But this is what I came up with, and it might look rather plain on the front. There's a bunch of stuff going on. So we've got the stamped cherry, the leaf, and the stem. After I made this one that I Googled it and saw that the stems are green. And we're going for more of a garden green look, so I will change that on here. But we've got a couple things going on. We've got some red rhinestones. We've got some of the in-color DSP in two different patterns, a new punch, and some twine. And then on the back, okay, so this is cute, right? Could use a sentiment, but I'm going to leave it without. Might add like a tag for this one. We'll see. But look at the back. I did one of those little, like the interdepartmental envelopes. Watch, it won't be. Oh, there we go. So all you do is just twist that, and then you got your Sour Blasters. So you will need a few things for this project. You'll need some brads to make this part. You'll want either these new Stylish Shape dies, which have some stitch circles. You'll need what size? You will need a 1/2 inch circle punch, or something to create with our glimmer paper, and then I've actually got a few underneath to give us some distance. Obviously, you'll need this bundle, you'll need one of our new punches, and everything you see here. And I am using this paper because because of the measurements of this, you need a 9 by 9.5 inch piece of paper, and I don't have a lot of DSP that is beyond 6 inches wide. So I looked through what I had, and of course this paper is retiring, so I might as well use it, right? So I'm going to start off with a 12 by 12 sheet. But once I turn this over and actually get my craft on, I will speed this up and I'll have a voiceover so you don't have to hear my dogs barking and my neighbors mowing their lawn and so many different things. So sit back, relax, and maybe you'll craft along with me. So I'm going to start with my paper trimmer. I have 9 by 9.5 inches for my DSP. You'll see the score lines right here. The easiest way to look at this is I have made slimline envelopes before, and that is essentially what we're doing here. So I will link to one of my slimline envelope videos here. So to decrease the amount of bulk at that upper and lower flap, I am just cutting off that tab and mitering it just a little bit to take some of that bulk out. I'll repeat that on the top. It's at this point where I'm like, forget the trimmer. I'm going to scissors. Couldn't cut straight to save my life. I don't know what was going on. So prior to figuring out where my reinforcements need to go, I'm just going to miter both the top and bottom flap. So instead of doing it like I did the first time, which was to assemble the card and then add the reinforcements, I'm getting a little bit smarter about it. I am using that smallest stitch circle from the new Stitched stylish stitch shapes. That's really hard to say. And then I've got the retired 1/2 inch punch, and I'm using the In Color Glimmer paper. Just going to add those two. I do get a little bit ahead of myself here, so you'll see that I go through all the motions here and then realize I have to dismantle it and add a little bit of height. So here I've hole punched those reinforcements not centered, unfortunately, and I'm just tracing with my pencil to see where I want those circles. You'll see when it comes to the underside of that one, my hole punch won't reach. So I just end up using the pointy end of my take your pick tool and push that through. So it's at this point that you want to punch a few more of those 1/2 inch circles and just adhere them underneath. But hold on, I'll show you. So it's as I go to put the string on, and I'm like, oh, shoot. So I'm just going to punch 3 1/2 inch circles for each of these reinforcements. Punch them, well, glue them together, punch them, and then put them underneath. Without this little bit of height, the string really has nowhere to go. And speaking of string, this is the In Color baker's twine that I'm using. And that being said, everything I'm using is pretty much sweet sorbet, with the exception of that DSP. That DSP is retiring very soon, and I thought, I'm going to use that. So you can consider this another Monday mashup. In case you're wondering, that is still Tombow Mono Liquid adhesive that I'm using. I've just put it in a different bottle. That bottle is like a fine tip glue pen, and the precision is amazing, and I'm finding it doesn't clog as much, but still loving the Tombow. Okay, so now it is assembled for reals this time. I'm going to just tie a little knot with my baker's twine and then wrap it around. And so completes the back of our little envelope. So now we can do the front. I'm just using some of the Sweet Sorbet In Color DSP. I'm going to banner my ends. On my original sample, I did use some cardstock underneath the DSP, but it's not necessary. The DSP, if you add your liquid adhesive, will adhere to that DSP, and it's nice. So here I'm just wrapping some of the twine around my fingers. I'm going to adhere it with some Terran tape and then kind of zhuzh it a little bit. I am going to trim the ends and then punch my main shape for the background. That again is the In Color DSP. I've got a piece of the Sweet Sorbet cardstock, and this thing, I think it took was it 3 tries before I got it the right way? So we'll just pop this up. We'll add a stitch circle. That's again from the Stylish Stitch Dies, Stitch Stylish Dies. I will link it below. And then I'm just going to stamp the cherry tone on tone and do the stem and the leaves in garden green, because that's what Google told me to do. That piece of cinnamon cider is my punch template, and I thought I was going to be using it here, but really that comes in handy when you're trying to do multiple ink colors on one color of cardstock, or if you line it up in your Stamparatus and you just put the punched pieces in there. It wasn't going to really work for what I had in mind here. So there's the stem and leaves. I'm just going to stamp the detail on there. I will add a few red rhinestones, and that is all, my crafty friends. I want to thank you so much for joining me this week. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would love for you to consider that. You will catch a new video almost each and every week, sometimes 2 videos. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.